authentic. It's about being okay with the good, bad, and ugly. To accept those things about ourselves that we can't change, and those things that need to be changed, we put on our big girl panties and do the work. Be true to you is about being real with God, being real with self, so we can be true to you. Be true to you is not about competing with one another. We're about complimenting one another. Hey, what's up, world? It's me, your girl, Angela. Welcome to the Be True to You Talk Show. You know what to do. Go ahead, like, share, and comment. Join in. You know what we need you to do. We need you to be a part of this conversation. Hey, I apologize that we wasn't here last week, but stuff happened. Nevertheless, before we get into it, before I jump in and invite my guests to share the platform, let me tell you all, thank you so very much for being a part of Cancer Have No Boundary. It was such a success. I cannot wait to bring it to you next year. Thank you to all the honorees. Thank you for all the sponsors. Want to shout out the sponsor again. I know you guys are the reason why we was able to do what we did. So thank you to the JRLL Foundation. Thank you for Hits with Faye Bailey Lucas. Thank you for Dr. Jennifer Bionda with Emmy Health. Thank you for those that sowed a seed. Sharon Murray, Sharetta Remiki, Kimberly Whitaker. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you to the best MC ever. And you guys need to find her. She was the best. Lawanda will be Lawanda. Hit her up. Thank you. We had the best DJ. We had the best photographer. We had the best videographer. Thank you all. It was such a success and honor to be able to do the event with my two sisters, Sheila O'Brien and Mary Lewis. It was just great. I'm telling you guys, the event was made, I must say, because of Lawanda Harris. She did a phenomenal job. Enough of that. Anyway, stay tuned for next year. Cancer Have No Boundary. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. And we're going to continue to honor and keep the legacy as far as our uncle, Congressman John Lewis, alive, as well as all our loved ones and everyone who had to experience that thing called cancer. And so with that being said, we're going to bring on my guests who have experienced some of those things, who have been able to walk that walk, and not only walk the walk, but she's beating all odds. She's still standing. She's still being victorious in her everyday living. And having a conversation with her off the camera, I like something that she said. She said she lived every day like it's her last. She give her all at anything that she's doing. She give her all. Why? Because she don't want to leave anything on the table. So with that being said, let me bring my guest. Put up some hearts, clap, 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 and join my guest today, Ayesha Harden. Hey, Ayesha.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good. You guys go ahead and invite your friends, invite your cousins, your auntie, your mama, your sister, and brother, and let them know that we're on, and we do not want them to miss this here interview. This is going to be life changing. So, Ayesha, do me a favor. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
My name is Ayesha Harden, and I'm excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I call myself resourceful. I do a lot of different things. Far as insurance, right now I launched my own business management company. Very excited about it because it's purpose driven.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where all my focus and energy has been going. I'm a mother. I'm an encourager. I'm so many things that fall underneath my umbrella.
Okay. And so what type of businesses you have again?
Insurance.
Okay. Life insurance, health insurance?
All types of insurance.
Oh.
Cats, dogs, home, autos, boats, body parts. So
I didn't know you did auto too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so Ayesha, we just had this event called Cancer Have No Boundary. And I reached out to you, but I reached out to you too late, and I would have loved for you to be one of my honorees. And so, with the Lord's will, when we have it next year, I want you to know that I want to honor you and for us your journey that you're walking. And if you don't mind, would you share some of the experience or what form of that thing called cancer that you had to deal with?
Yes. My cancer started as thyroid cancer. One day I was working out outside in my backyard, and I couldn't breathe. And I was working out with a few people, and they thought I was playing. I am over dramatic sometimes, very much so. But this time I wasn't. So I ended up going to the hospital, and 90%, 98% of my airway was shut from a mass. So it was thyroid cancer, and from the thyroid cancer, metastasized into my lungs, my kidneys, my gallbladder. It started to attack my bones. So it has been a journey. It has been a journey. However, I'm so thankful for cancer. My lungs have been cleared. I had some tumors around my heart and everything. So it has been cleared up. I didn't do traditional chemo or radiation. I did pill form chemo, but I used to be so sick.
Mm-hmm.
I have children, so I didn't want to do anything that made me sit down for long periods of time. I'm very active. I always been active. I like to drop them, pick them up from school, do different things with them. So I couldn't have something that was gonna make me sit down. I did do iodine radiation, and that's what helped out a lot besides my diet and really trusting God that I was going to live. Because when I first went in to my first surgery, I had a mass that was so big it shifted my trachea, and they didn't think I was going to speak. They told me they had a plastic surgeon on standby. If I wake up, I couldn't speak. It was just part of the protocol. And I kind of looked at him and I laughed. I said, "There's no way he gonna he gonna take this voice. There's no way that's gonna happen." And it didn't happen. So I'm so thankful for that. And then I thought I was out of it, but from the way it metastasized across my body, it was a lot. It was a lot going on.
So, how many years? What year was this that you found out you had some form of cancer?
This was in 2020. I had my daughter in 2019, so 2020. I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it to her second birthday,
But God.
but God.
So let me ask you a question. You was exercising, you was doing all, normal activity, daily activity, and you didn't have any symptoms at all. All of a sudden you just, or was you um just not noticing that it was something going wrong, or was you too busy that you didn't notice? And now that you think back, you did see some signs, or no?
I was I was pregnant. So what happened was I didn't want any more children either. So my daughter really saved my life because um I was living with it and I didn't know that I was living with it. But by having her, she caused my hormones to start making the cells double.
Oh wow.
So she actually saved
Saved your
me.
life.
Yes, she did. And so, after you have a baby, you're trying to lose that baby weight. You want to get it off you. So I didn't know anything. I just thought it was all contribute to the pregnancy and the
Mm-hmm.
childbirth.
Mm-hmm. And so when you say you thought you was contributing to the childbirth as far as your weight gaining, because you started gaining weight,
Yes.
okay, but no shortage of breath before the day you fell out.
I was pregnant. So my daughter at the time, she had just turned a year. She just turned a year. So I just thought it was normal. Honestly, I thought it was normal. I had a really bad pregnancy with her, my only daughter. So everything was off, my sciatic nerve, body aches,
And so
pain.
you're just, it's a girl. I don't have boys before.
Right.
I never experienced anything like this. This girl is really putting it on me.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So, and I didn't think it was in the, and before I was seeing doctors, I was telling them, I remember going to one of my doctor one day and I told her something is wrong. I had all types of scans and tests done and nothing came back.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until after I had my daughter and that day I went to the hospital that they were able to detect something.
Wow. And so you said you opt out of not having any chemo, no radiation. Was that because you heard the voice of God, or was it something that you researched? What made you choose not to go that route?
I didn't want I didn't want to deal with the hair loss or the port in me, or I just I didn't want to lay down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to lay down. I'm too active. I didn't want my life to change. I had too much going on in my life to trust someone to be able to step in and take my place.
Mm, I love that. I love that. And so I didn't know about them giving you pills for cancer until recently. My one of my uncles is experiencing that, and they told we found out that they was giving him pills as well. As you know, last year my mom experienced lung cancer, and so I didn't know that pills was an option until then. Although she didn't have to have chemo, she did have to have 5 treatments of radiation, and so they caught her at an early stage. Did they tell you your stage at that time?
I did not want to know.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't want to know. The first when the, June 19th is when they declared that I had cancer.
Mm.
Test results came back, and I was sitting there, and my doctor is amazing. His bedside manner was horrible at the time, but he was looking when he told me I had cancer. He was looking for me to cry, be hysterical. I said, no, it's no way. So I kind of took it, and then at that time, I called my apostle and I told him I need somebody to laugh with me because nobody will understand. I say I just need you to tell me you're gonna laugh with me at this point. So I told him I had cancer, and we laughed. And then when I started going back, my doctors didn't believe that everything would work out for my good. Even up to now, he tell me whatever you're doing, keep
Keep doing.
doing it,
Wow.
keep doing it. So it was always some bad news. At the time, I had 7 doctors I was seeing, and I was at the doctor's every other day, and it was never good news. It was always levels, food, this and that. They started scribbling what I could eat, taking away different things, trying methods, because I kept declining. And I'm not a pill person. So and even still today, I have one pill. I have a couple of pills, but dedicated to one pill.
Out of all of them, you're dedicated to one.
Dedicated to one pill I should take every day, and I still forget to take that sometimes. But I remember leaving the doctors with 3 pages full of prescriptions, and I couldn't commit myself to that. I have children, and like my routine is already crazy. But that's one of the reasons why I'm thankful for cancer. Because cancer allowed me to slow down.
Mhm.
Cancer gave me me.
You know, I had this young lady I went to the doctor with the other last week for support to talk to her doctors with her because she felt like she wasn't being heard. She's experienced breast cancer, and I remember you saying when you had your baby, she saved your life because the hormones cause the cancer cells to speed up, and on her behalf, they want to block her hormones because it brings the cancer back.
Right.
And so I say that to say she say cancer makes her happy. And people be like, "What is wrong with you? Why would you say cancer make you happy?" And then I hear you say, you're thankful for cancer. Elaborate on that for me.
Cancer, everybody's gonna die, right? We
Mhm.
all know we're gonna die. And I used to be a people pleaser.
Mhm.
So when I really got cancer, and I had to go into isolation, my whole life has changed because most of the time when you tell people you got cancer, you got to comfort them.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't even know the life that I'm living.
Right.
And you want me to make you feel better.
Whew,
So
that's deep.
yeah,
Mhm.
so it became more of an emotional burden. And then by me telling people I got to deal with them and their emotions, and then I'm going home and I got to look at my children and I got to look at my family. And it's like, so it allowed me to become me. It
Mm.
really, it allowed me to stop people pleasing. It allowed me to be happy and show me what was important, what was necessary.
Mhm.
We think clothes, jewelry, cars, all that stuff make you happy. But when you're faced with death,
Mhm.
and it's like, you can't take none of that with you.
Mhm.
You don't have no legacy. You don't have no morals. You don't have no integrity. What are
Mhm.
you known as?
Mhm.
So it really caused me to do a deep self dive. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful because it really changed my life.
Mhm. And now you said something profound when you said this was your first time sitting down having this interview, right? And I was like, You said sometimes you say this is your first and your last, and I'm like, don't say your last. And then you said,
Yes, I said it is my last. You know, every day you only get that day.
mm-hmm,
Tomorrow a whole new day. So if I go into today and I'm thankful and I come here and I give it my all, like I don't have another chance at this. That's what's important to me. That's every day of my life at this point because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You
mm-hmm.
don't know what's going to happen a minute from now. I don't know if I'll be able to present it with this opportunity again. So if I go into it grateful and I go into it knowing it's my first and last, and if I have another opportunity, I was able to enjoy the moment and take the lessons with me.
Yeah, I hear strength, and I know that we believe in God, and I know you're a child of God. But that strength that I hear you talking, is it for your children?
No, I don't even live for my children no more. I really put myself first.
Okay.
So everything has to overflow out of me. And I think when you're faced with death, the doctors they counted me out. And they really counted me out to the point where in my mind I went and I was preparing myself. I was preparing my life to die. I was really making moves and putting things in place so that I knew I was gonna die. Like,
Mhm.
and I took on that mindset. I gave up on myself.
Mhm.
So being able to be restored and understand that you face death. What else?
Right, right. And I think about that, as Christian, we say that living for Christ, that at the end, the ultimate goal is to be with him, right? But yet we want to live hundred years. Yet we don't want to talk about death. Yet we don't face death. Yet we don't prepare for death. And we say that to be absent, absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. But in our mind, we want to stay here forever. And so to hear you talk with such strength, it is exactly what we as Christian should be doing, preparing our way, making sure the way we live every day, that we're honoring him, right? Like you said, that we're living morals, that we're allowing the Jesus in us to be seen. And so when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing that you want to make sure you accomplish that day?
Telling God thank you and I surrender
Mm.
every day. Every day I tell him thank you and I surrender. And then I ask myself to be whole. I have to be whole every day. Um, and you said something good too. It's not about knowing the word, it's about living the word.
Mhm.
It's about being principle based, really understanding who you are and whose you are. So I could quote the Bible, but if I'm not living like that, that don't mean anything. I
Mm.
want people to look at me and see my scrim
Mhm.
and understand this is the way I live. It's not nothing I heard or just words coming out my mouth.
Mhm. I listen. The words that coming out your mouth, their strength, and not just your words, just your action. The way you come in here, the way you came in. You didn't come in here. Woe, it's me. And like you said, they gave up on you, right? And you're not saying that you're cured, right? You're cured in the eyes of God, but their doctors have not released you. Am I correct?
Correct.
And so they're still saying that it's a possibility that cancer is going to take you out. Because although you have cancer, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to die from cancer.
Right.
Although we don't have cancer, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to outlive you. We don't know when nowadays. It can be a car crash, it could be a plane crash, it can be an accident, it could be anything. We could just be laying in the bed and God decided to take us home. We don't know when we're going home, but yet we put off like we have all the time in the world. And so when you said you give it your all like it's your last, it makes you think, because we are procrastinators.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm sure by now you make sure that whatever you want to complete that day, you do it.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
so what's your daily routine? You say you have pills, but you're only committed to one. What are they trying to tell you? What kind of medication you on? What is that you need to do? How do you prolong a healthier day?
For bone cancer, there's no cure. So nothing can make the bones be strong. I see osteoporosis doctor every now and again, and they wanted me to take shots every week.
Let me ask you the question that every now and again, because you don't go when you're supposed to go.
Yes, I
I,
don't
I
go.
just it sound like
um, I'm working on listening better,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a hard time listening because what I have learned on this journey, and especially dealing with so many doctors, that doctor is only a specialist in their field.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a point in time I had one doctor telling me I need to drink over a gallon of water a day. I got another doctor telling me, no, you holding on to weight. So, they're giving me water tablets. They want to drain me. Then I had to deal with blood clots and, you can't have this or they want you to do this CAT scan. So I kind of had to become my own doctor.
Mm.
I'm really good at taking my blood work and I'll research the lab terms. I'll ask whatever questions I need to ask because when I go to the doctor now, we're having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Now
you
they're
telling
just
me.
not talking at you. Now they're talking
Right,
with you.
right. And I make my own care plan. They know you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but I changed my life. Not just physical, mentally, spiritually, what I was putting into my body, what I was listening to, who I gave access to certain gates. And I don't consider myself a bad eater. I worked at Whole Foods for 10 years, so I always been organic. I didn't really care for dye or anything like that. So the transitioning I thought was amazing too, because the things that I couldn't have, I already wasn't having.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else, like I rarely eat meat and I listen to my body. I talk to myself a lot. So what I want, I give it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I crave a steak, I got to crave a steak for 2 days before I go get a steak though.
Mm-hmm.
And if my body is telling me that, it's because it's a deficiency somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So being that I'm able to spend time with myself, spend time with my body, listen to the moans and groans, understand what works for me, what don't work for me, because all the doctor doing is studying the book. I
Mm-hmm.
done lived with myself for all these years.
Mm-hmm. So how did you quiet yourself that you was able to hear yourself? Because I hear you say you was really busy, and I hear you say that cancer slowed you down. I also know that you have 5 kids, right? And
Yes,
from the age of 17 to 4,
correct.
and so that's a lot of noise in the house. And so how do you find time for yourself to listen to your body?
Well, I wish that was all the noise that I had, but you got the friends, you got the family, you got
Right.
the work,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got everything else. It's so many things that was playing a part in my life. I really had to shut down. Like I had to shut down my house. I had to shut down my phone. I had to understand that getting access to me is a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because what's more important is what you say to yourself,
True.
not what nobody else say to you. So I had that mentality that I was going to die, that I was going to give up. I had that mentality that I wasn't going to see my daughter's birthday. And I talk about my daughter a lot because my sons, they're self-sufficient. My youngest boy at the time, he was 7 years old. So they pretty much know how to cook, clean, and everything on their own. I wanted a daughter. And I wanted a daughter over my 4 boys any day. So being able to finally get a daughter and not be able to care for her and give her the wisdom and the knowledge that I was able to impart in all these other girls that I had in my
Mm-hmm.
circle,
Mm-hmm.
that cut me deep. And I had to really change my mindset and I had to shut down. It was really like a power off button. Like it just had to stop. And even I'll find myself telling myself, "Shut up, just shut up."
Your daughter, so to me, not only did she save your life by you getting pregnant, she also saved your life because she snatched you out of that I don't want to live anymore. And so she's a why. She's a why. Although you are a why, would you say she too is a why?
Yes, I learn from her every day. She makes me a better me. Because if it's not good for her, it's not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what actually changed my life and changed my mindset on a lot of different situations is having her watching me do something that I wouldn't want her to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or having her look at me when I know this isn't where I want to be and I never want her here.
Mm-hmm.
So I never want her to give up on herself. I never want her to look at herself and think because she's fat, she's not pretty. I never want her to have certain conversations that I have had with myself. So me being able to watch her and get the wisdom from a friend to really see the outlook of different things differently, because I didn't get here on my own. Everybody needs somebody.
Correct.
Everybody needs somebody you have in your corner. So being able to have her understand that everybody's not going to think you're pretty.
Mhm.
Everybody's not going to think you're skinny. So today you could tell her she's ugly and she's going to say, and that's okay.
Mhm.
Because that doesn't make or shape who she is or who she thinks she is. And because she could get that at 4 years old, it's no reason that I couldn't.
Right. I'm thinking, we murmur, we complain about situation, but we're not faced, like literally know that we're faced with death daily, right? And not to be gloom or doom, but to know that if God doesn't miraculous touch your bones, right? This disease will eventually cause you to transition. But yet you're able to not walk in a spirit of woe it's me. We go through things and it wipes us out. I'm that person. I'm experiencing some things right now, and I'm not getting up doing what I need to be done because it's like I'm focusing on the what if, right? And so often we always think the what if is negative and we don't stay positive. For someone to deal with that daily, how do you see some of the rest of us that we complain about simple things? You probably like, shut up.
Well, I did, but now it's just like you're in a battle with yourself.
Mhm.
You're really in a battle with yourself, and I believe all things work together for my good. So
Mhm.
even if it's something negative, even if I have to listen to you complain, I'm gonna tell you everything work together for your good.
Mhm.
Because it's that point when you change your mindset. So I had to go from why me, because I used to say that, like, how could I get canceled? Like, out of all things,
I don't even do this. I don't do that. I don't
right,
even eat this,
right. And
right?
then my voice you want to play with, and you know how much I love to talk. So it's like, how could I get cancer? But then I had to go, why not me?
Mhm.
I was built for this.
Mhm.
Like I was able to endure it. I was able to make cancer look good. And that was one of the things, sitting in a oncologist office. And I'm normally everywhere I go, and I always been the youngest one. And not just with cancer, just in my life period. So understanding that the setup was out, he in the details. God is in the details of things. So understanding that he already set me up for certain things.
Mhm.
Like, you're the youngest one. They like, you got cancer. You don't look like it. And I had to, well, how does cancer look?
Mhm.
Like, how are you supposed to look? So I just look at people now and I just tell them, you got to see the good in it.
Mhm. And your favorite scripture is Romans 8:28, which is mine also. But sometimes you really need to get that scripture in front of you, and you have to constantly remind yourself, and you have to do what you tell me that today. You say, I talk to myself all the time. So tell me about your conversation that you have with yourself that strengthen you to move forward.
Um, I just had an event last month called Our Survive. And one of the things that I did at the event, I had everybody take their phones out and look at themselves in the phone. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, and you have to really talk to yourself. Sometimes we go to toe for toe because my mouth get me in trouble. My attitude get me in trouble. So I have to really tell, girl, shut up. You can't even hear yourself. If you can't listen to yourself, you're not going to listen to nobody else.
Mhm.
You're not going to hear nobody else out. So if I'm having a rough day, I may say, Ayesha, girl, listen, we not doing this today.
Mhm.
I need you to get it together. We got to pivot. Pivot is a really important thing, because battling cancer and life, right? Because a lot of things happen in life.
Mhm.
We wish sometimes that we could deal with one thing at a time, but
Mhm.
that's not the case.
True.
Um, everything is a mountain, but when you realize you could stand on top of the mountain, or you could sit there you could sit there and you could look down at the mountain, nothing else matters, because it's what you telling yourself now.
Mhm.
The problem is as big as you make it.
Mhm.
So as much energy you put into it, that's how big you're going to make it. So if you leave it alone,
Mhm.
let it rest, control what you can control. When you look at stuff, most of the things we do is our fault from our choice.
That's real. That's real.
So if you got to deal with yourself and you be like, we like to say, oh, you hurt me today.
Mhm.
No, I allowed myself to be hurt by what you said, because I didn't have to take it like that.
True.
I could have just left it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing these things the doctors say, and like I said, my doctor didn't have no bedside manner then. He's doing so much better now. I got to give him his credit. But understanding that this is his job.
Mm-hmm.
He's not living with it. So why am I going to allow that to alter my mood when I could do something about my life?
Mm-hmm.
I know everyone is going to die, but it's what I want to die with.
Right.
Die being remembered as, I don't want a funeral full of people crying over me, but I didn't make a move in this earth. I didn't tell my story. I didn't let people know that it's more fight that you can fight. It's your choice. Like, you could get up, you could turn around, you could stop at any point in time, you could
Tell the
push
people.
forward.
Mm-hmm.
You could push forward, you could go for it, you can do whatever you see yourself doing. The vision is important, because once you die, you lose vision.
Mm-hmm.
And we're living with no vision.
Ooh. Now that's word. We're living with no vision, because usually we are literally just existing day to day.
Day
We're
to
not
day,
living.
we get up, we go to work, we got to feed the family, we want to drive around, we want to go to a party, we want to look nice. And then what's your legacy? What have you done?
And I was going to talk to you about that, because you were saying earlier, you said, you wanted to leave a legacy. And so what are the legacy that you want to be? What is it that you want to be known? Once you cross over, once you transcend to glory, what is it that Ayesha want to be known of or from?
Touching the souls. ABN Management Company is a company that takes ideas and take people who starting up businesses and sustaining them upon a rock. I want to have multiple companies that I was able to touch to have standing like KFC, like the Hilton for generations. The Colonel was older, right? Again, that's another thing. We think old is 65.
Mm-hmm.
But he was older in age. However, everybody know who KFC is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know what Chick-fil-A stand for. And it's no reason that we can't do it. It's no reason that we can't set our minds to it, where after we pass on, we have stuff here in the earth that still stands on our morals, on our values, on our principles.
What are some of your morals that you're standing on?
Taking care of myself. That's first. And I do it without apologizing. I have to take care of myself. I have to make sure I'm okay. I have to make sure I'm happy, because I'm nobody else's responsibility. Everything that comes to me has to add value.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not okay, nothing else coming is going to be okay.
Yeah, I think about when you said that. I asked, were you living for your kids? And you said no, you're living for yourself. Some people would feel like, oh my God, that is so selfish of her. Oh my God, I can't believe she's not thinking about her children, because once we as a mother, we're expected to forget about who we are.
Right.
We're no longer valued as a person. We're only valued as a mother. And so to say that out loud, how does that make you feel? Because that not we're okay with it, but I'm just saying, that will make people want to judge us, because people always want to put us in a box or expect for us to respond a
Right.
certain way. So you can say that so freely,
And I tell them, sweep around your own front door. See, a lot of people like to cast stones, but I say that because everything that flows out of me would be great if I take care of myself. So my children automatically getting taken care of better because I'm a better me,
Mhm.
and everything attached to me will. And then I had to start looking at parenting different. I wanted to give them my plan,
Mm.
but I needed to know their vision so I could steward them.
Mhm.
So they're not who I want them to be. They are who they
was created to be. Right, right.
Yeah.
And you want to bring that out.
I want to bring that out. So by me thinking I could control everything because I have a title as a mom now, that I lose myself.
Mhm. Was you controlling before?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I was controlling everything. I was a yes person. I was a people pleaser. And because when you're a people pleaser, people gonna give you what you want anyways,
Mhm.
because they're in the best interest of themselves at
Mhm.
that time.
Mhm.
So it's really I was a mom who put my children before me. And if I
So
would have
you was a mom that neglected yourself for your children. I
Right,
got it.
right.
Mhm.
So for everything. I was drained by the time my day ended. I could sit still and within 2 minutes I'll be asleep because I ran for everybody all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So it depletes you and then you have no value.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why we feel like to take care of self-care calls you to sometimes be selfish. And in the midst of being selfish, you're taking care of the things that allow you to be, like you say, show up in your greater. And I love to say I was built for this life. This life is who I am because I was created just for this life. I am who I am because of this life. Earlier you spoke, I was built for this life. You was built to endure. And so that's like saying, God invested something great in you. And so we want to talk about your relationship with God that you've given. So tell us about, you walking with Christ and giving your life to Christ. One moment, we'll be right back.
Okay.
A beautiful journey. I've always dreamed of an exciting, passion-filled career in the beauty industry. When enrolled in Cosmo School, it was amazing. After all, beauty was my thing, but I knew it was just the beginning. Next, I needed to find a salon home that was going to help me take it up a notch. aducareer.com showed me the way. Teamwork, branding development, coaching, product knowledge, and more. The apprentice training program changed my life. Find out more about the amazing possibilities. Thank you so much for inviting me out, girl. I've been so stressed.
Girl, you're so welcome. But listen, who did your hair?
Oh, all dolled up.
What is that?
All Dolled Up is a series of stores and salons all throughout South Florida. I get my hair silked out every month. I can do that because I'm part of the Texture Club.
Girl, well, I need to get to All Dolled Up and sign up for this texture club. You look amazing.
And cheers to that.
Okay, so we are back. And Ayesha, we was getting ready to talk about your relationship with God. Walk us through that.
I wanted to say first, because you said God created me to endure. He didn't. He gave me my heart desires. See, sometimes we think it's God when it's us choosing what we want, and He has to give it to us because we won't let up off of it. He could do something 1,000 times, and somehow you'll end up back in the same situation because that's what you want. So we have to go through it and we have to let certain things play out in our life because that's what we wanted. So we have to take accountability for our choices and our actions into it. But I love God. God is so good. He is so amazing. And I got to a point where I gave up and I told him, I said, God, if it's in your will for me to live, I need help. I need you to send me a tangible person. It was a lot going on in my life. I felt like every time I tried to get up, an earthquake happened again. It was so much stuff that was burying me, and I didn't see a way out. I didn't see, so I became comfortable with dying and really understanding that I had to get to that point just to be in relationship and truly learn the love of who He is for the love of myself. So I'm thankful. I'm really thankful. Every day He amazes me. And it's in the little things and the details. Like I said, even certain things that I went through on my cancer battle, I could think back on other times in my life where, okay, He already prepared me for this. He already gave me that. I already done been in rooms with people like this before. So it's just remembering when, but you get so clogged up with the voices and the people and the things and what the world wants you to do. You're trying to please everybody else that you get distracted on your way as to who you are. So I'm happy He broke me.
In the midst of Him breaking you, He's your strength.
He is.
And so in that, He has built you to endure.
Yes.
He is the reason why the relationship, the things that he allowed you to experience. And I love what you said. Everything we experience calls us to be who we are. And so those things that you experience is causing you to stand up strong. And you're really standing up strong. And so, I just say hats off to you that you can smile in the midst of this storm and you don't take this storm as oh my God, what am I going to do? And so for someone who's battling this thing or unsure or want to give up, can you be so kind to look in the camera and tell them something that will change their life or shift them or just encourage them because you love to encourage. So encourage someone tonight.
You can do it. Get up, change your mindset. You're worth more than it. Whatever vision you seen, whatever you said you wanted to do, you can do it. You just have to wake up. Like sometimes you really got to pinch yourself or start journaling. What is it you want? Change your routine, change your pace, change who you listening to. Get you some new friends, get you some new people. It was even to the point where I had to stop talking to people, and I had to change what I was listening to. So I listen to YouTube a lot. I listen to a lot of different motivational speakers. Those are my friends. I know them by name because they're going places. Wherever you are, you have to change where you are to where you want to go. And you have to do that. And you have to be committed to yourself. You have to be faithful to yourself. Everything you want from somebody else, the support what you want from somebody, you got to give it to yourself. You got to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm talented, I'm pretty, I got this, I'm more than a conqueror. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. You have to talk life into yourself every day, a couple of times a day.
Every day. No matter what the report is. It's like the scripture say, whose report are you going to believe? Whose report are you going to believe? And you choose to believe the report of the Lord. And so I just want to let you know that I think that you are amazing. And sitting here talking to you, I see the strength of God. And I'm just in awe because I hope that I could handle the situation with so much poise, so much grace, because we want everything to be peachy keen. We want everything to be easy. We don't want to go through anything, and we're so busy to say that thing. Why me? And we never really ask the question until we get down the line or we almost over the hump. Then we want to say, why not me? But we need to be able to say, why me from the beginning. And you said that what we're going through has a lot to do with the decision that we made before. Hence, yesterday in service, the apostle talked about every make wise decisions, right? Because every decision that you make, it lingers for a lifetime. Those decisions you make, it put things in action, one behind another, one behind another, one behind another. So when you ask why, you can't just ask why from yesterday.
Right.
You have to go back
Right.
and revisit your life and
Right.
think about some of the things you did, the turns you made. It could be something that you did at the age of 5. We're still paying for those decisions. But to God be the glory for grace and mercy.
Yes. Yes.
And so tell us about your business.
You just said a lot of good stuff though. Before
Keep
I
going.
tell
No,
you about the business,
keep going.
because we don't want to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to hurt to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Saying no sometimes hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to hear no, but no is for your protection.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of my biggest things. Nobody really told me no. Nobody didn't tell me no. So to hear no, it shattered my world. And to understand that you need to hear no's, because no is what make you better. No is to get you where you want. And like you said, you have to go back and you have to revisit your life. You have to really open the box of your life and go back and heal through each cycle. You have to heal through each season. You have to pick up certain tools that you need to take with you and let the crap stay there. Leave the trash in the past and take up everything, all the positivity, all the lessons that you learned, and you take it with you. And I think that's why I'm able now to be poised, because I had to put all my years of my life and I had to put it on replay. And I had to take the fault and the blame out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to come to terms with my choices and my decisions and how bad I really wanted it and the sacrifices that I made to get there. Nobody told you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told you to do it. So you really have to understand that you have to heal, and it's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. You're going to cry. You're going to be mad. You're going to be emotional. You're going to be scared. You're going to be alone. You're going to be terrified, especially changing different situations. But you got to tell depression you a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Anxiety, you a lie. You know, you really have to tell these things that you won't have me. I'm more than a conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
I will win.
And most of all, you got to curse that thing called fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because fear of the unknown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm sure that you once upon a time your mind has went to what if or I wonder, And so, I want to ask you this question before we go into your business. What are some of your self-care ritual that you do for yourself now to take care of yourself?
I spend time by myself. I journal every night. I read. I listen to YouTube a lot. I spend more time with myself than I do with anybody. So even if I'm at my office, I'll shut my office door and I have my music going and spending time with yourself, really hearing yourself, because I can't listen to nobody else. I don't care if you got my best intention at heart. I'm just not going to listen to you because my mind is not even in the right place because I can't hear myself. So, and that's how we become a lot of other things that don't even make us happy. Or we think joy is supposed to come from materialistic things. So really spending time with myself, and that could be I go out to eat by myself. I can go get my feet done by myself. I could go in the store by myself. I could sit outside by myself and just being with myself.
So this has taught you to love yourself.
Yes.
And so you really do cherish time alone.
Yes.
And that wasn't before.
No. I always wanted because being around people made me feel like I belong.
Mm-hmm.
I really had to understand I wasn't created to belong.
Mm-hmm.
I was set apart. And, so really understanding my role here. And I spend time with my children, like me and my children, we're getting to a place where we're just roommates because they're so big on their own vision that they're going to do everything that leads them to that vision.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes my stewardship easy because everything come down to yes and no, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So my business is my baby.
Tell us about it.
My business is my baby. And I love ABN because ABN gets so much life.
What does that stand for? Those initials stands for?
Yes, it's initials. It'll be revealed later.
Okay.
Because it's a story behind it. But ABN is energy. So I like to say put the anger into wood. So whatever resentment, whatever hurt, whatever pain, I turn it into wood and I put it in the fire and I put it in the ABN. So ABN, I don't own 100% of the company. However, it is a company that was created and it's created from self-love. And I think we try to do business and we try to do a lot of things in life and we don't understand that we can only reproduce who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're hurting as a person, your business is going to hurt because your attention isn't fully there. So ABN was created to combine business and personal, to be able to touch many. Because if you're at the level of business owners, we live in a world now where entrepreneurial space is big.
Right.
So if we're able to join hands with business owners and line them up with the King principles and their vision, everything that come out of them is going to equal success.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to do it on a higher level instead of trying to reach individual or employees, that we're able to take corporations and multiply them. We're able to sustain companies and give jobs and build communities and just have relatable people. ABN is here just to power people up. It's really, I'm such a resourceful person. I know about a lot of different things, and our gift is is our blessing. Our gift is what makes us rich. Our gift is what sets us apart. And I didn't understand, why do I know all this stuff? Or how can I help? And I'm a helper by nature. And I sat down one day and the download came, and downloads are amazing, right? Downloads are really amazing.
Yeah, especially when they come from God.
Yes,
You're like,
44
whoa, you're
pages.
like, wow, 44 pages.
Of the download came from him. And at that time, I realized the transformation. I realized that I didn't know who I was. I didn't realize I was me, but the story behind it and the life I lived, every area, every job, every person you held on to over the years that still checked in on you, everybody was tied to the vision.
Everybody had a purpose.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. How do they contact you or getting connected with AB?
Avian, you can go to Instagram or Facebook under Ayesha Harden. We have a website, avianmanagementcompany.com. And on Instagram, you could text. I don't know the number by heart.
She could put it in the comment later.
Yes, I'll put it in the comments. You could text, you could visit our website. We do have some upcoming events coming up for 2024. And I'm so excited about it.
Awesome. And the book?
The book is coming in parts and pieces.
Okay, so you're gonna release it bits and pieces, or you're just gathering it together and you're gonna like ebooks or what, or just straight
bits and pieces. It's actually gonna be a series.
Okay.
And because completion is the goal. So we don't want to put information out there where it doesn't help you change, because you have to change. You could talk all day long, but if you're not doing action and execution, you're not going to get nowhere.
God, good. And so what is your expectation for Ayesha?
To be the best that you can be. And every day I get better. Every day I humble myself to be able to learn. Once you stop learning, it's a problem.
Okay. And so before we leave this platform, I want to make sure that you gave your all. Is it anything that you want to leave with us? Is anything that you wanted to share? Anything that you meant to say and I didn't give you the opportunity?
I just want to let the people know that you can, you will, and you must. You have no choice but to rise up, because it's people waiting for you to be the best you. It's people waiting for you to go and see your vision and see your goal.
And so there's people waiting on you.
Yes.
So you're going to show up. And
every
you're showing
time.
Up every day in the fullness.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so very much. Listen, if you ever feel like you have something else that you want to share, welcome. Just let me know and we will make sure that we save some space for you. You're welcome to come back on the B2D Talk Show anytime. I love you. I've always loved you. I haven't seen you forever, but you know that I've been there for you and I'm here for you. And I'm so proud of you to be able to take this journey with so much strength. And I don't want to say strong, because I hate when people say, oh, she's such a strong Black woman. But I want to say, I see you, I hear you. And I pray that God continue to keep you. And I know He will. And I pray that everything you desire to finish, God, let it be completed in you. And so, love you. You guys, that is it for today. We greatly appreciate. Make sure you continue to like, share. Hey, it's not too late to share. Share someone this broadcast. Connect with Ayesha. If you have been through something and you need someone to talk to, reach out. Everybody needs someone. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. There is support, there is help, there is people that have experienced some of the things you have experienced. Connect with us, stay connected with us, continue to watch Cancer Have No Boundary. It's more to come. We're trying to make a way that not only do we honor people at the end of the year, but how can we help? How can we make a difference? Because when I say Cancer Have no boundary, it doesn't care what part of your body it touch. It doesn't care what family member it touch. It does not care who it hurts or cause to leave. The key is, how do you deal with it? And so we're here to stand with you, to let you know that you are not just a survivor, you are victorious. And so keep that in mind and know that God loves you and he will never leave you nor forsake you. And we pray for anyone that's experiencing cancer in any way. We pray that God continue to be your strength. We pray that you get to know Jesus. We pray that you know that either way, God is still God and he will never leave you nor forsake you. Although it hurt, although it is comfortable, at the end, it will work out for your good. This is your girl, Angela, with the Be Truly Talk Show. And everything you do, always be true to you. I love you. I mean it. Bye. True to you is not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. It's about being okay with the good, bad, and ugly. To accept those things about ourselves that we can't change, and those things that need to be changed, we put on our big girl panties and do the work. Be true to you is about being real with God, being real with self, so we can be true to you. Be true to you is not about competing with one another. We're about